Hello and welcome to another episode of the It Gets Better I Swear podcast. This is the Monster Hunter edition for 12/10/2017. I'm Louis Beans and I'm here with Mark with the mic.
Yep. What's going on?
How
What's going on?
chilling, man. How you doing?
Yeah, we just got off a good wrestling battle, and now we're ready to talk some geek culture stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Pretty big this week. We got the release of Monster Hunter World Beta. I mean, really demo. You know, the online testing. Um, did you get to try it for yourself or no?
I have not. I have not got to play it yet. I was gonna try it probably after this cast. I'll probably go on and try it out.
No problem, man. No problem. I recommend you do.
It's only for this weekend though, right?
Yes, it's only for this weekend and it's only for, I believe, PS Plus. I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, it was actually until Tuesday. Well, the date is Tuesday, the 12th. So there's still 2 more days to get in. I mean, it's not. I mean, let's drop the misconception here. It's not something that's super highly contested. It's not one of the ones that seems to be crashing. You know, like too many people hitting the server at once. So thank goodness for that. Maybe they anticipated a lot of people.
Not bad.
So I'm glad. I mean, Capcom must have learned this lesson after Street Fighter.
Yeah.
That was a shit show. But you know, let's not go into that territory. This is an actually joyous occasion. RedCycloneInc was in there day one, hunting it up. Yeah, the commander and Japstar played with me day one. We all had our headsets and we're talking and hunting and having a good time. I don't know where to start. The shit looks amazing. Like, it took them long enough, and I see the influences. Because if you listen to some of the menu noises, you can hear there's some Dragon's Dogma sounding stuff in there. So I see that maybe this was maybe a little more long of a long time coming because they were waiting for after Dragon's Dogma has settled and whatnot.
Okay.
Because you can see there's some stuff in there because I've been recently playing Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, mostly for a playthrough, but just a little bit on the side just because it's a good ass game. So like directly playing this after that, I could really see some of the influences, and I guess maybe this is where Deep Down went, because if you look at the UI, it really has a clean, futuristic look to it. And that's a lot of what Deep Down had, except, that was a multiplayer focused game. So I can see where the crossroads is. There's a lot, I guess, that they took from one, learned on the other, and then here we go with this one. And hopefully it catches on. Hopefully a lot of people buy it, because if this is just the demo / beta, this is a small piece. There's no guild halls, there's no card system, there's no real lobby. It's just basically only 4 people to a room. You just pop in randomly, or you can set it to private, but like there's no, what Monster Hunter is kind of famous for, the hub system.
Yeah.
It's not there yet because, they're basically just testing the online, just the strength of the online, I guess. And, to its credit so far, I haven't seen any lag related glitches, like stuff stuttering and stuff. I've seen some people, I guess maybe they were on Wi-Fi, and I seen it was a little funky because Monster Hunter has a way of dealing with it by like you notice the monsters halt a lot in their animations to compensate for lag, so that they're not just jumping all over the place. I mean, it still looks bad, but you can tell what it is. Very little of that. So whatever they're using for their server, I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe it's dedicated. I don't even understand those terms deeply myself. So whatever they're using, kudos on them. It's not on fire. I'm happy.
Yeah.
In terms of what's actually there to offer, there's a training mode, so I recommend that first to everybody. Learn the weapons because they're all different, at least from what they were in Generations, because there's no supers.
Yeah.
The arts, what they would call arts in that game. There are no arts. There are like powerful attacks that you can do through different combinations and switching some modes. You can access some of those very strong moves because they didn't take them out for everything. There's an example in particular with the sword and shield that it used to have a literal Shoryuken
Yeah.
from Street Fighter. Like there was a move that you do that did a Shoryuken, and then you came down with like a shield smash. So it was very reminiscent of a Marvel vs. Capcom type of super, like a overly exaggerated move with like action lines and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You can still do some of those moves, and it's just access through the different charge move that you have on the sword and shield. And there's press a different button, and lo and behold, you can actually do the shield smash. And so, they what they seem to have done is broken up the three styles from Generations, and I guess took out some of the broken stuff. And like the dodge from Generations was pretty much broken. If you used the adept style, you would dodge into an attack or away from, and then you would perform like a roadie run from Gears where you would run really fast, and then you could perform moves after that. And it seems they took that out because that was pretty busted. Like
Okay.
against some of the monsters, you could just dodge through everything, and it made the game kind of trivial if you were really good at it. But other than that, it seems like they just mixed and matched, and they fine tuned a lot of the weapons. It's going to take a while to see if these are some of the best versions of the weapons because full game's not out.
Yeah.
All the elements, all the stuff that they can do, we don't know exactly yet. They might change. I mean, who knows if they change damage values because something is broken? Maybe something is too strong and they have to fix it. Who knows? This is the time I guess they find out because people will be bouncing off of everything over and over again. Like I said, the training mode is very good, and because they changed it to allow you to see damage numbers, so now you know how much damage you do, exactly when you hit something somewhere. So if you hit it in the face, oh, all elements and stuff added up. This is the damage I did to the face. So now I know this is the spot I should be hitting it because I do more hitting it here. I could see it now. I could see the number showing me that I do more here than I do back there at the feet or the tail, So maybe that'll cut down on like the, I don't want to call it inefficiency, but it really is people just running, willy-nilly at stuff and just swinging away because there's an actual system to the game.
Okay.
At first you play it and a lot of people bounce off of it because they're like, man, why am I not doing insane numbers of damage, or how come this thing don't fall down all the time, or blah blah blah, because they've played other action games and they don't understand that to prevent the game from basically being broken where you can just do whatever you want, there's stagger limits and there's all types of things where you got to do a certain amount of damage before the monster will flinch or fall over or trip left or right, because they have different animations for that stuff now. uh the parts on the pieces break off, you see the damage happening in real time to some degree now, which is kind of cool. But like overall, it seems the changes in total have maybe made it a better game. I mean, there's fast travel that doesn't break it because the levels are bigger, so you want to use it, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to walk from one into the other. Trust me, I put up I put up a few videos, and that's like a problem. So you really want to use the fast travel to get around. Like if you're away from the monster and somebody else finds it, like don't try to run. Don't waste your time. Like just fast travel because it's almost instant. There's no loading within the zone, so they figured that part out because I know that was a bit, that was a thing.
Yeah,
Monster Hunter loaded every area when you went to the exit. Like there was no seamless transition. So to have like even fast travel almost be seamless is pretty amazing.
that's
Um,
good. I have a
no, there's a
question.
lot of stuff.
Was it easy to get
Mhm.
into a game with each other?
Uh, yes and no. Public games, no. That's the nightmare because people just pop in because you can't. The only thing that this thing is missing was the ability to turn a private room into a public room after you've made it.
Yeah, but you know what? That could be something that's in
Because
the
yeah,
full.
it's in a full game. Like this stuff, yeah. But like now, if you mean can all of us get together and play, yes, that's not a problem. Like the first few hours, I guess because maybe it was full, maybe everybody was running in
Yeah.
there. It was a little more difficult. But like today, nah, it was easy. So, but because there's no card system and there's no hub system, it's using what's is essentially the friend code system from the 3DS,
Yeah.
which is terrible. But
It
it works.
works for the
And what
system.
it
Okay.
does is you every time someone makes a room, it gives you a code. That person gives the code to his or her friends.
Yeah.
You type in the code, and that gives you access to the room. So that way, nobody else can take your spot.
Okay.
It works, yes, but it's funny that the downside was trying to take a picture of the code because that's easier than like texting that to your friends or saying it. God forbid you try to say it. It's just a bunch of lowercase and uppercase and numbers and like no. So taking a picture presented a problem where you realize that phones can't really take pictures of televisions.
Yes.
Like some phones just can't
Yeah.
do it
Yeah, because
properly. Like
it's because the brightness of the screen.
it makes the numbers extremely hard to read. So even when you get a nice seemingly clear picture, if you look at the fine
Yeah.
details, sometimes a C looks like an E,
Okay.
and it's really hard to tell. But this is just for now.
Well, hopefully that gets
That's
fixed. And again, this is a test beta, so basically, a lot of the
yeah.
things that may not work now may be fixed by the time the game comes out.
Yes.
I got another question with the whole thing. So the classes, which how many classes you were able to use in the
Well,
beta?
they don't really do classes in Monster Hunter because
Oh,
they took them out from in
weapon based.
Generations. They had them. They did have classes, yes, in
Yeah,
Generations, but they went back to like the traditional where it's just use a weapon.
yeah. So if anybody could use any weapon at the
Yeah,
time, or
and
yeah, okay,
they stress that too.
okay,
Like
cool,
they stress just go to the box and change
yeah.
because I guess they knew people were getting turned off by the idea of having to go
Everybody,
back to the camp, finish the quest to change your to change your gear. Now you can just change everything at the box, everything.
okay,
Don't like the weapon you're using, don't like what you're wearing, change it.
cool.
So, um, and then they changed the system for gunning and what they call blade mastering, which is
Yeah.
like long range or close range.
Okay.
I'm about to get hit with the popo wave. I don't know if you want to hear that.
Got Steiner.
No, okay. But what that was blade master counts all the up close weapons, things that you use, melee,
Yeah.
um, sword and shield, dual blades, all that. And gunning is obviously bows, guns, heavy bow guns. And what
Yeah.
they did, old school was you had a different set of armor for each type.
Okay.
And I didn't bother me, but I understand it's tedious, and it's not necessary to have two sets of armor for each thing. Take
Yeah.
the same set and just wear for both because it's clothes. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
clothes.
That makes
So
sense.
what they did was turn reduce the armor sets from 2 to 1, and basically now you don't have to worry about gunner armor or blade master armor, you put the armor on and you're good to go. You can use both. You can switch back and forth. There's nothing except but the way you fight. That's it.
So
So
that makes it more accessible. Someone could easily like
there's a
jump on.
lot of accessibility now. There's a lot.
All right,
There's,
because
it's fully voiced, like
yeah.
first time.
Okay.
So
So like, cause if someone like me, I probably tried it but couldn't get into it. So for
because
me
it
to
was
pick this,
tedious.
yeah. So for me to pick this up, I might enjoy it more because it's more there. Like it's more accessible to for me to get into it than me having to learn the classes, having to learn what to do and everything like that. This one seems like it's more on the simpler side.
And what they did with the weapons to make it even easier to learn how to use them is should you choose to keep the option on, they show the next move that you can do after you press a button. So if you press the triangle button on certain weapons, that does like say with the great sword, it does a chop,
Okay.
and it'll show you in the top right corner the next possible move after you press the triangle button and the animation of the chop is happening. So you can look up there and you'll see the option to roll. You'll see the option to what is it? Hold the charge. If you hold the charge, you can press circle. It'll show you that you can do it. There's no more mystery
Yeah.
with the weapons.
Okay.
There's still a few things that aren't explicitly explained that I think they need to go into more detail with for each weapon. I don't know if somebody's going to be doing official tutorials.
Yeah.
That seems to be a thing. They get like a community person because
Yeah.
they have been sending bills to community people.
Yeah.
So I think that's something they really need to do is explain all the detail, the nuances of the weapons, because there's some stuff that is still not apparent. Well,
Okay.
for instance, why is it when I use the axe, if I switch to sword mode, what is that state where I can cut through things that I normally couldn't? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If a monster scales are too hard, you would bounce if you hit it with the axe mode, but you switch into sword mode and you're able to cut through, but you're sitting there wondering, scratching your head like, why? What is this
Okay.
state? What is armor? There's different things. There's some things that need to still be explained explicitly because it if anything I've learned regarding an action game, the more stuff you explain, the more people want to play. Like when everybody is on an equal footing from the get-go, it's better because Monster Hunter is a long-running franchise.
Yeah.
So there's people who've been playing since the beginning, playing since PSP, playing since the Wii, and, et cetera, et cetera. And there's things you learn from years of playing the game. And like if you haven't been playing for years, there's things that you're just never gonna know.
Yeah.
Because your brain is like, this doesn't exist. So why would I need to know it? And my one complaint still seeing that menu for the weapons is there's still too much unsaid for a lot of stuff that you can do. So that's the only thing I feel that they need to expand upon. But hey, it's the beta. It's a demo. It's a small slice.
Okay.
Let's see what happens when the game
Yeah.
comes out in a month.
Yeah.
So.
No, because again, I'm asking these questions because again, I'm new to the franchise. I did play, I dabbled in it, but never got into it.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm. Like a
this
lot
is
of people. That's a
yeah.
lot of people's
So
experience.
I've been watching, like I watched the video you posted up. Check it out on RedCycloneInc on YouTube. Same one that we do
Mm-hmm.
with the guy that's on. I also checked out Maximilian. Max, that's his thing, right?
Yes, his name. That's his name.
Yeah, yeah. I checked out his playthrough. He did a live playthrough with 4 people and whatnot. What's the max you can have playing in one game?
Inside the actual hunting area, I believe it's 4. In the hub, it's supposed to be 16, where you can chat and talk and like play mini games and stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's supposed to be, they bumped that up to 16. Like it used to be 6
Okay.
on PlayStation, then they bumped it up and then to like 8. But after a certain time, they stopped
Yeah.
upping that number. I think it was maybe hardware limitations
Okay.
because after the Wii, they all had a portable version,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what dominated. It was specifically the one for Wii U. It was made for 3DS,
Okay.
and they ported it up. So it was still a game that was made for a portable system, meaning there's shortcomings.
Okay.
So
That
this
makes
is the
sense.
first one since the Wii that was fully made for a console.
Okay.
So, you know, again, I don't know what their plans for the Switch are, but I feel that it's totally possible to do a downgraded version of this game.
I think what I
Like
was
it's just
reading, because
visuals.
there's
Like you
one
just
coming out for the Switch, but it's coming out in Japan.
no, but there's no world.
I know.
Double X already came out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it then came out. It was like a launch game for the Switch for Japan. It's just people
Okay.
want it here.
Yeah. No,
So,
no, I can see that
but
one coming here.
but that's made on the Generations engine.
Okay.
So it's not nowhere near as complex as this game. So, that would take them to make it from, specifically made for, but I could see it. It could possibly work. I don't know the specifics of the graphics engine, but like, yeah, just don't have all the particles.
Yeah.
Don't have the cool fire when you have a Rathalos. That's all.
Exactly. Yeah, I was. I was watching that. The monsters look pretty sick. They're fucking huge. So what I've seen so far. I guess the last thing I'll say. What's your favorite weapon so far?
It's this hard because I like a lot of them. I
Yeah.
like how the guns feel now. They feel like a third person shooter, which is good.
Okay.
Like strangely, that game has never felt like a third person shooter.
Okay.
Like they've had guns forever. It always felt weird and awkward. Finally feels comfortable. Um, that said, my favorite weapon is probably the insect glaive now, just because there's an attack you can do where you fly in the air and they gave you midair dashes, so you can change your direction midair, which is so fucking cool. And then you can dash forward with an attack, and if you connect with the backswing of the attack, you bounce off of whatever you just hit. And if you're good enough to direct yourself at something else, you can literally just bounce back and forth in the air like a
Yeah.
ninja. That's cool as shit. That's so cool.
All right. What
I
kind
hope
of
they put
weapon it
Spider's
is?
costume back in there. It's like a staff that has two blades on it,
Okay.
and then a bug on your arm that you can throw. And then they implemented some of the moves from Generations where the bugs explode and like do damage as well. Like it's really good. It's really good.
It sounds good.
Kind of seems rushed.
If it's running to Tuesday, then I'll try to play it at least tomorrow or later today. I'm definitely looking forward to it and whatnot. Yeah, it sounds like it's gonna be good. I may actually take the chance and just buy it when it comes out. It's that or
I mean, I recommend
yeah,
it.
it's that or DBZ. I guess it's one or the other. I'm not buying both yet.
I recommend it if you are gonna play it by
Yeah,
yourself, and then whenever something gets a little too difficult, I guess, because I'm sure there's gonna be an ability to turn it on and off because there's stressing drop in drop out co-op.
yeah,
So that ability is probably really good because it's not a thing like Dark Souls where you have to worry about some dude coming in and jacking you
yeah,
because you're online to balance out the fact that you can get help.
yeah,
No, this is a purely co-op game, so you could be playing your game, and at any point, I guess you open your game to people coming in, and dudes could just drop in and help and leave.
That's,
You know,
that sounds good.
so that's the thing that the game's needed for so long because sometimes you just need a hand
Yeah,
because that game wasn't. Listen, Monster Hunter was, and we'll see if it's still not fair.
yeah.
But the older games were never fair, never fair. It was always in the monster's favor.
And this is coming out PS4 and Xbox. Xbox has a version coming out as well.
And La PC.
The PC, yeah.
Yes sir, yes sir.
Certainly.
How you doing?
Xbox, the Xbox.
Announce yourself, fool.
Hey, and it's the good old commander jumping in late. Sorry about that, guys. How's everyone doing?
Chillin', chillin'.
You should get penalized for that.
Oh, I'll sit in the penalty box. That's okay.
Yeah.
Sit in the
Um,
Rathalos box.
I was looking at the Xbox version. Is the fact that the online runs smoother on Xbox than what it runs on PS4. But
Trust me,
yeah, it sounds like
it's a feel thing. So you don't have to really worry about that. If they
yeah,
get the netcode working, it'll be good.
yeah. Um, yeah. I asked all the questions I had. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it sounds like a really good game. It sounds like you guys are really enjoying it and whatnot. The video that you posted is all you guys are on it, or that was just your gameplay?
No, that was me. That was me, Commander, and then Arnold. We were playing,
Okay.
and we tried to kill that
We
Rathalos,
were
but
so
he got
close.
away.
We were so close. I feel
Yeah,
like we were close.
he ran away. He
Oh yeah,
literally
he
ran
literally
away at the
flew
end.
away, and we couldn't find him at the end. And we were like under 5 minutes at that point.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I
That's
think
about the only low point is the time limit. It means you gotta be on point, but how can you be on point when you don't know where point is?
yeah.
Exactly. Like I feel like, I mean, the flies would, I guess, took the fireflies would have took us to him. Not
Yeah, true
100%.
enough. If somebody gets to him first, yes. If somebody gets to him first, but in the initial opening, we were scrambling because we didn't know where he was. So that's
Right.
like 5 minutes off the clock right there.
I mean, what's the interesting thing is you don't have to wait for him to load into levels. Like if you happen to
No.
catch him in the air, you can see him fly
Yes.
by. It's just really cool. I
Yes.
love that, just running through everywhere, and it's just seamless. It's just
Mm-hmm.
wonderful. I'm sure Arnold's been doing that on the PC version of the Asian version of the non. what do we call that flavor of Monster Hunter?
We just call it the Asian version.
There you go.
That's it.
But gosh, it's great. It does have HDR support, so on the PS4 Pro, it looks fantastic on my TV. Like
Mm-hmm.
the colors are great. It just looks amazing, and you get to choose performance so over resolution, over frame rate. So if you want to make sure that when you swing it, it's smooth as butter, you could choose frame rate.
I
You know what I
noticed
mean, to be
a thing.
consistent.
The only thing I did notice about capturing it is that other people's footage as well, it seems to wash it out for some reason. It like when you playing the game, you can get it as dark as you want, but when you capture it, it still looks like grayish. I don't know what that is.
I know that if you're recording through the PS4
Okay.
directly, you only could go up to 720. So it kind of changes the resolution when you record. It doesn't go full
No, no.
1080 at
Oh
all.
no, no, I'm not doing that. I'm using the
Oh,
Elgato,
oh okay.
and you can do 1080 if you want to.
Yeah.
Um, but it's like no. But for some reason, the footage, even of other people playing it, is just still looks washed.
Okay.
Like when Capcom puts it out, it doesn't, but it does look washed. I wonder what that is.
Yeah, I gotta turn it on. I haven't looked at it yet. I have it downloaded. I just haven't touched it. I haven't had time to really sit down and play. And then
Yeah, you got
cast
till
today.
Tuesday, I believe. You got till
Yeah,
Tuesday. I think it's
and
until
then
12, which is fine. It's 3 missions is fun. Definitely when you get a chance to just enjoy yourself.
yeah, and I also been on Xenoblade, so that's something I've been actually playing more than anything.
What's
Have you
that?
guys forgive me for being late? Oh yes, I'll go
I
on through your
haven't.
thing and then after. Go ahead.
No, I haven't.
Sorry,
I'll talk to us about Xenoblade after we're
go for
done
it.
with the Monster Hunter.
No,
We
I'm
still,
done with Monster Hunter. I was gonna say, did you guys talk about the announcements from last week yet? Or
not yet. We're
okay, so
getting to
go on
that.
then. I don't want to interrupt. Go
So
for it.
I've been playing Xenoblade 2. Thank you to the Flying Grayson because he don't have a Switch, so he let me use it until he gets a Switch.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm playing Xenoblade 2 Chronicles. It's really good, really nice so far. I haven't played a Japanese RPG like this in a long time. I think the last one I played was the first one of
But
Xenoblade
what
for the
type of
Wii.
game? I know what type of game Xenoblade One is. That's like an action RPG.
Yeah, it's still the same.
Turn based, somewhat. Because you still have to wait for your turns for certain things. But how's this one? Same thing?
It's same thing. Same thing.
Okay.
It's more action. Like it's kind of you control the hits, but it does take its time to hit. But
Yeah,
you had
like
like
I know your supers and stuff. Like, yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All
It's a
right.
really big. It's a really big like open. It's not
Mm,
open world as in you could go anywhere, but it has when you're at a certain place, it's big.
Yeah, they learned their lesson from the last game with that
Yeah,
gigantic world. I guess they
yeah,
scaled it back a little bit.
yeah. Because this is supposedly it's supposed to be like a 40-hour game. Like you can finish it for 40 hours and whatnot. I've been playing through it. I'm probably 10 hours, 15 hours in. I've been really enjoying though. The story is pretty good so far. I'm digging the characters. Again, I haven't played something like this in a while. I'm actually looking forward to Persona 5 because I heard it was very story oriented as well. So I might jump on that next. But
Okay.
I haven't. Again, it gave me a refreshing love for Japanese RPGs and why I used to play them because I haven't played them in a long time. The last one I played was the Final Fantasy 12, and it disappointed me. So it kind of burned me out with them, and I stopped playing Final Fantasy. Period.
Okay.
See,
Okay.
yeah, my thing with JRPGs is like I'm always at awe of them. A lot of them and a lot of the good ones. It's just they're when you talk to people who are really into them and you watch videos and you're like, there's so much content and lore and story and just world that was built. It's like you know what I mean. You get lost. A lot of people get lost in those characters. They fall in love with them. Some things they hate. Some things they love. It's like it's very divisive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot, and it's like, and that's when my barrier to entry for me getting into a lot of them is for most of them are usually traditional turn based, you know what I mean, stat building, grind out type things.
Yeah.
Like until the more modern ones started coming out where, you know what I mean, they started mixing up the gameplay, less turn based, more action.
Well, it
Because you know,
depends because you
well, yeah,
gotta
no, it totally
classify it
does
right
depend.
because JRPG is typically turn based.
It's typically turn based, right?
ARPG is action RPG.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
they have a distinction. Like that's why I was asking what type of game it is because Xenoblade seems weird. Because I don't know if you guys remember. You remember the PlayStation one and
Yeah.
the ones for PlayStation 2 Xenosaga? Like those were like the ones you're talking about, where they were stand still, stationary, take your turn.
Yeah.
That was the ones with like Cosmos and whatnot.
This one added more like
And those, yeah, you move around and stuff.
yeah. This one you're moving. You can
Yeah,
like move around with the attack and everything like that.
yeah. So like, I know they got that distinction as ARPG, JRPG,
I,
but
I, I
like,
will I will say it's more in the hints of Kingdom Hearts in a way,
so
as
that's more
in
action, closer to action. Okay.
you have your other characters fighting with you alongside of you too.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all fighting at the same time. You can actually pick your target and all fight at that one person, or they all could spread out and fight the others. But this one is also like the hits are stationary. So you have one button hits that you could just do 3 times and pretty much like that. And then you have your special circle with your specials. And then you hit that, then it would be like a combined special and whatnot. But it's not like Kingdom Hearts in a way. Kingdom Hearts was more similar to Zelda in that way that you could actually hit the
Yeah.
person and you're
Yes.
doing the
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
actions. It's more stationary in that way.
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts skirts
Yeah.
that line between whatever Zelda is
Yeah.
and an action RPG. Yeah. You're right.
I don't
You're right.
consider Zelda RPG. I consider Zelda action adventure.
Yeah, because of the way it moves. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no like you don't stop and pause for anything.
Yeah, it's more I say it's more adventure in that line of adventure game than
So yeah,
it is
Kingdom Hearts has like both of those because you can do that, but you can
Mhm.
also pause the game and shoot a fireball.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's a pretty
Huh.
good game. It's a pretty good game. It's a pretty game. I've been sending pictures to Commander Pharaoh of the big boobies
Yeah, it's pretty
Oh
good.
wait, I got a
that they're
question.
complaining about.
Wait, how's the voice acting?
It's okay. It's a bunch of British people.
Oh, that's not, okay. They have a no. Those games specifically, they have a tradition of keeping like a very like European voice cast because like
Yeah.
I guess they're very well liked or whatever. Well, they're usually pretty good.
Yeah.
So.
It's all right. It's not the. It's all right. I'll say that much. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like British and whatnot. I like the characters so far though, even though some of them the jokes are cheesy and whatnot. But it's cheesy in a way that would make you giggle
Okay. Okay.
and whatnot. And then I was telling Jenkins there's a big complaint about the way a lot of the women look.
Well, I've been hearing about this controversy, and it's not just that So it's not just
Yeah.
that they're proportions. Well, yeah, there it is. It
I
is
love
that the portions are ridiculous, and I feel like it's a departure from what the series is. Like the character design is kind of just crazy, which is what they position it. It's not so much as they're arguing that it's like sexist or anything like that. It's just that they don't like the design generally. Like it's too much. It's like what were they thinking here? And then it's not consistent.
I want
I
to ask
love
a
it.
question. I would just like to say, did they ever know? Do they know that this team is the same people that made the Xeno Gear Saga, right? The
Yeah.
second series of games was
Cosmos.
Cosmo. Like, what are they talking about? What? A partially nude android with chain guns. What? Excuse me? I don't know. People just
I appreciate it.
just ignore
I'm glad you're enjoying the game, and I'm
It
glad
takes
it looks fine to
so they can
me.
make their case.
it takes my
I
attention.
know. I'm just saying. People just like to ignore what came before to make their case. Like,
But it's a fun game. Again, thank you for Flying Grayson for not having a Switch for letting me play.
Like I like to shout out Flying Grayson because I too, like him, listen, we'll support a franchise without even the console, and mine is bearing fruit because I bought Bayonetta 2 on the for Wii U, but didn't buy a Wii U, so I
Yeah.
just wanted to support that. And coming up, we'll talk about how I'm so happy
Yeah,
about
well, you
supporting
could
that.
actually talk about it now. Since I'm done with Blade.
That's so
It was announced that Bayonetta is getting
the Switch port.
one and
getting a Switch
two
port,
getting Switch port February 16th.
and 3 was announced. Bayonetta 3 was announced, and it is wonderful that it's happening. It's still Nintendo exclusive, but hey, we had this conversation before. It could not be happening, so I'm gonna go with yay, it's happening.
Yeah.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and it's a Switch exclusive, and I own one, so I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm actually excited for the ports, and there'll be something to play on the go.
Sorry about that. Yes, I will be very much willing to play. I'll be playing 2 for the first time. I'm thinking about when I get it for the Switch, I'll play through 1 straight through 2 just to get that feeling because I haven't touched 1 in a while, good while. I did load it up once when it was available for PC, and then again when it came out for Xbox One, and that was when I touched it. But yeah, I'm excited that 3 is happening too. I can't wait to play. And yeah, that jumps us into the news from last week, man. Was it last week or just this week? We just passed, right? Today's Sunday, so last week.
Yeah.
So we had
the Game Awards.
We had the Game Awards, and we had PSX the day after. And there was another thing there. Did we ever figure out what the other thing was?
It was Capcom Cup, but they also released like data, stuff for the games.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, what was your biggest takeaway?
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. Go for it. Go for it.
They just before we got into it, that was one of the announcements that he told me about the Capcom 30th anniversary. What was it? Edition?
Street Fighter. Street Fighter 30th anniversary edition. It's containing all the Street Fighter games from Street Fighter 1 to all the alphas to all the third strikes to all the threes.
Mm-hmm.
All in one game, and I think that's awesome. I'm happy they're doing it. They should have done that a long time ago. They were supposed to have online support, which is pretty good. It could be bad and good at the same time, but it's good for the Capcom to do it. Mega Man fucking 11.
Mega Man 11.
Mega Man game.
I don't know what contract expired, who died, but holy shit.
We got a new Mega Man game.
And to jump back to the Monster Hunter thing, that Mega Man news for Monster Hunter World on PlayStation exclusive, you'll get a palette code that is skinned as Mega Man, and it's like a weird 3D 8-bit version of him. And then when you choose your weapon loadout, it chooses one of the songs from the original Mega Man. So each weapon is a different song. So the bow's one, the thing. It's really cool. Like that's
nice.
That's cool business. Like that kind of love is always great. Cops coming to get me. But yeah, man.
Yeah. Other big announcements. The game. I really don't like the video game awards because I hate. I hate Neely. I hate Kevin Neely.
Keeley?
I think
he's Jeff Keeley.
Jeff Keeley, whatever the fuck his name is. He's an asshole. Yo, he's a pompous asshole. I met him a few times at GameStop.
He seems kind of smug.
I met him a few times at GameStop, and he's a pompous asshole. Like, I fucking don't like the guy. Like, honestly, if I saw him in the street, I'd probably punch him in the mouth. That's kind of dude he is. Like he honestly, he's lucky to be where he's at in the game industry. I guess he's good because he gets these things going, but they're so gimmicky at times. It just annoys me.
Well,
Was there anything this year about Doritos and Mountain Dew?
All of it.
no, I
Okay.
didn't see anything about
All right.
Doritos and Mountain Dew.
But game of the year, Zelda Breath of the Wild took it.
Yep, not surprised.
I'm not surprised. I said Nintendo was going to take it either way, so it was going to be Mario Odyssey or Zelda Breath of the Wild. I actually preferred Mario Odyssey. I'll say that was my game of the year.
I think it didn't have like if it would have came out longer, more people had more time with it. I think that's one of weird one. It kind of snuck in there under the radar. Like, should it even have been considered as late in the year as it came out? Because you know how award shows usually do. You know what I mean? They don't.
Shit, Skyrim was always considered, and then came out November.
That's a good point. But I agree. Like, I think Mario Odyssey should have been on the nominee, and it could have went either way, right?
Yeah. No, it was on the nominee. It was that or Zelda. Yeah.
What were the 5 nominated? It was Breath of the Wild, Horizon Zero Dawn,
Horizon, Cuphead.
Cuphead was going for Game of the Year.
Yeah, Cuphead got it.
Cuphead for art direction.
Yeah. It was Cuphead, Breath of the Wild, Horizon Zero Dawn, Mario Odyssey, and
there's one more. I forget what the other one was.
I can't think of it. Anyway.
Good. But yeah, man.
Yeah, and then Zelda Breath of the Wild took it. More than likely, it was probably one of the best review games besides Mario Odyssey.
But full disclosure, Odyssey, I watched the Game Awards for what I got during the Game Awards, not so much as the awards, because, like I said, I have my feelings about how those awards are done. So that's whatever, right?
Yeah.
I watched for what they do, and those are the world premieres and those trailers, and that's what I was excited about. I'm continuously being blown away by that Death Stranding trailer. Did you guys all see it?
I don't know what the hell that was.
That
was like a fucking. That was an experience.
Yes, it was.
I have a problem with it in the way it's just that I'm scared they're gonna show all this hype and the game's gonna suck.
Well, I mean,
it's a possibility, man. It's always a possibility.
Hideo Kojima is probably there for that one bad game, and I feel this is gonna be it.
I was just gonna say, like, how do you feel his last few games have been? Like,
they weren't all there.
Without the bullshit of 5, I thought 5 played amazing. That's probably the best Metal Gear I've ever played.
Yeah,
like, but not the, you know what I mean? Not the best Metal Gear, but like the best Metal Gear I've ever
on a
physically
technical
played.
aspect. Yeah, the enjoyment of the movements, the physical,
like,
the gameplay.
I'm trying to think, has he had any stinkers? Because he's always
consistent,
always grandeur. No, I mean, how you see how nutty this is.
Yeah,
you might not remember because you might not have been into it, but right. The first Metal Gear, like Metal Gear 2 was bananas when that thing first came out.
Yeah, it was a weird.
Remember the tanker demo?
Yeah,
how crazy people went, and then they found out you had to play as Raiden. Yeah. People lost their shit.
Yep.
Like, that was a big fucking. I remember for the longest time, no one would admit that Metal Gear 2 was good.
Yeah,
they just forgot that the gameplay was amazing and just said, "Oh, you play as Raiden. This game sucks." Like,
I actually liked Metal Gear 2.
I like that's one of my favorites. Like my second favorite Metal Gear, like, to play, because
Snake Eater is my first one.
Subsistence. Like, I like Snake Eater, so I like Snake Eater as like the best in the series.
Yeah,
but like to play, it's not. I don't think it's better than 2.
Yeah,
because something they did with the camera in 3, it fucked me up. Like they went back to like that overhead.
Yeah,
for a lot of the sections, and it was like not great, but like right there with you as like the best Metal Gear game, because the boss is the shit. The boss is the shit. But I'd be afraid too. Yeah. I'd be afraid if it was just like, this game sucks. This game is boring.
Like, I mean, my feeling on it is, I don't know what to think yet, because they haven't given any expectation of gameplay, right? For me, it looks like it's going to be a very strong story-written, crazy narrative type thing. And I'm like, all right, depends on how you want to do this. You can do it like you've traditionally done, some kind of weird stealth, you know what I mean? Or just action, oriented and you're a soldier type thing, but then again, you're going away from that, right? So what are you in this game? It's like it's not abundantly clear. Like, are you just a survivor? Or are you just like how are you going to go through this experience? You could go through this entire experience just being a witness. You get what I mean? And that'd be an interesting thing. And while you go through it to find clues and things like that, it's like I think the door is just open on what kind of game that this can be at this moment. But I do understand your fear, and it is completely rational. Let's be clear. It can be, you know what I mean? This doesn't look like the type of game that could just be some kind of running gunner. I don't think I would like it if it's just some kind of running gunner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't make running gunners though.
Well, it's the truth, but you know what I mean.
He could be in a new. You know what? I never did this. I want to do this today.
But then again,
I don't know.
But then again, it might be amazing if he decided to somehow.
I think this might not play like anything he's ever made, because when I think about when he makes a new franchise, it's different because Metal Gear is not Zone of the Enders.
Yeah,
Zone of the Enders is not Boktai, which it was a weird thing that he made, but he made it. Like that's a completely different style of game. Period. And it's just like every time he makes something different, it's weird. So I don't know what this could be. This could be a fucking car. This could be a car compact game.
If this could be a game that I sit there and every 30 minutes make a decision and then continue to watch it play out for the rest of the time, I still might be interested into it because of the pedigree going into it. Norman Reedus, man, you know, Del Toro.
I feel this is going to be like
not Del Toro. What's his name?
You know what?
Forgot his name.
Oh well, but
Guillermo. Yeah,
oh, Guillermo del Toro. Yeah.
Which I saw Shape of the Water.
And how was that?
I loved it.
I thought so. I want to see it.
Yeah. What I was gonna say. The one thing I'll spot out with the death sentence and the whole thing is I have a feel it's gonna be like an over robust of a Telltale game.
Oh, you think it's an adventure game?
It's telling a story and you choose what you want to do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'd take that.
Yeah.
I'd take that.
I don't think that, but I think it might be like 4. Metal Gear 4, which was just like cutscene. That game had hours
of cutscenes.
Hours.
Yeah.
What they clock it in at? It's like you could.
I think it was like 2.5, 3.
Yeah.
2.5, 3 hours of just cutscenes. So I think
wasn't there one that was like straight up like a half hour or something like that?
Yeah, at the end, with Big Boss.
Gotcha.
Just sit there for half an hour. He explains everything.
But then again, remember, like, are we forgetting like freaking Quantum Break was a thing?
Yeah.
That you got to the decision making in Quantum Break, and you had a half-hour television episode to watch.
Yeah.
But that's not
funny. Shit is I haven't even played that game.
No, I'm saying that's not Kojima. But I'm just saying what we're expecting is that he's always been overblown.
Yeah.
Right. He's always been over the top. Right.
With telling stories and stuff. This is nothing like, at least for me, feeling from what he's done before. This is nothing new. Yeah. This is textbook Kojima.
Gotcha. Like how this is being handled, the visuals and all this craziness. This is what you expect from him.
10 minutes of gameplay, 15-minute cutscene. That ratio. Whereas like you get this nice burst of gameplay, and then 10 minutes or 15 minutes of you sitting there watching this crazy shit go down.
You're right. Just having your brain melted, going.
And it typically balances out at the end, but some people just don't like it. Like I remember the backlash for that last cutscene. That shit was. Can we pause this? All right, old man. You weren't dead. I got it.
All right.
Well, we got a long way to wait for that game. That ain't even coming out to like probably when the last
2019
PS4.
2019.
It'll be the last game that comes out on the PS4.
Yeah, he's
the swan
good.
song.
He's good for that stuff. He's good for that stuff.
Yeah,
but it'll be the most optimized, beautiful thing you'd ever did see.
He really
won't be played.
It really is. Like that shit. Oh man, yeah, he's one of those dudes. He's one of those few people that knows how to work hardware to the absolute limit, even when it's not that great. Like he worked magic with PS2, and that was the shit out of all 3 of the competitors.
Yeah,
poop, and it was still like, Metal Gear 3 is pretty good.
Right,
it's pretty good.
It's kind of fun to feel about Grand Theft Auto 5 at the end of the lifespan of PS3 and Xbox 360. It was amazing on those consoles, as well as once you got it the next gen. But it was still an amazing feat that they accomplished. Like Grand Theft Auto 5 looked great on Xbox 360, like amazing. And then it looks even better, of course, on the next gen and PC. But you're still talking about, like, I loaded Grand Theft Auto 5 up today.
Yeah.
And play some Grand Theft Auto Online, and it still holds up. I'm like, this game is just, that's the whole thing. So, but we already talked about GTA 5. 6 is probably still another 2 years, 3 years away, which is
That'd probably be another one. That would be another one. That would be
end of
like
the lifespan,
lifespan, and then they will make a
It'll be
remake of
glorious.
it. They'll make a remake of it for the newer systems.
And it'll still be amazing. Okay, another thing there. We all saw the snippet, so we got the announcement of Soul Calibur 6.
Well, there's a 10-minute gameplay video out there somewhere
of it. Yeah.
And an interview. I'm fucking hyped.
I didn't hear it. Wait. Was it playable there, or this was at a different event?
Oh, I don't know what that was. I think that was some Namco thing.
I think the only thing they showed was the Michirugi clean cut Michirugi versus Sophia.
Oh, that was
Sofrita.
That was like a minute.
That used to be her name. Sofrita. Sophia. Yeah, with the sword and the shield, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm just making sure. I always said her name wrong.
And a clean cut Michirugi.
Yeah, right.
Well, he got a little dirt on his chin.
No, he don't.
Look at it. He got the Japanese dirt.
But to say, was it a bad shadow?
No,
that's cool.
He got that Ronin joint.
There you go.
You know what's funny? And I was looking at it. I wasn't really that crazy impressed with it either, because look at the difference between what Soul Calibur 2 was for the PS2, and then when it went to Soul Calibur 4, which was the first one for 360.
What happened?
It was like a big change in graphics from 360 to PS2, and then from 360 to now, it's not that crazy. Like I wasn't that impressed with the.
I think it's probably using that Tekken engine, so I don't know.
Yeah. But I'm happy it's coming out though.
I'm glad, always like it's been too long, and 5 was bad because those characters were awful.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hopefully it doesn't go in that sense that it's bad. I hope it's good.
There's only been like one gameplay wise. There's only been one bad one. 3.
Yeah, it was 3.
Not good. Yeah, 3 is not good. Like play, because remember the whole thing with fighting games typically is how the game plays.
Yeah.
Like Marvel looks like crap, but it plays amazing. So. Soul Calibur probably not going to break any boundaries for graphics of the year or anything, but it still looks all right. For what it is for right now. But like,
my hopes for
play-wise,
sorry, go ahead.
They said apparently they were like the interview that they did have with some other developers was they're trying to go for the feel of 2.
Okay.
So there's a lot of reverence for 2 because it played really good.
And it's probably the best top-selling one.
I mean, well, it was on 3 systems. That helps.
Yeah. That helps. But it was actually it was the most
guest characters on all 3. That's why. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like
that's how I feel about
Link moved a lot of units.
Yeah. But it was also looked at. It was looked at a lot more as the main one because a lot of people didn't own Dreamcast. So this one was looked at as the stepping stone, and that was the best one out of the ones that all came out.
Well, yeah, that weapon mode was pretty good. And it had
I just hope it follows through. I just hope it follows through like everybody else.
Yeah.
Like I want just the Injustice thing. Let's just get these great characters and just keep making people smile.
Well, I mean, technically, Soul Calibur did it first.
So there's no reason why they couldn't continue to do the.
Link isn't a Namco character.
Spawn.
Oh yeah, it's the same game. It's what I'm saying. They did it 3 times.
Yeah.
Right. It was what Spawn, Hiachi, and Link, right? That was a big thing.
PS2 got the crappy one.
And then Heihachi is cool. And then
Heihachi had no weapon.
Heihachi's godlike. I mean the character Heihachi, not the character in the game. I mean Heihachi's
the game he had no weapon. He was so
he had the fist.
And then 4, I think they skipped a guest character for. Oh no, it had Namco characters in it, but that's their hidden. But 4 had, what they had, fucking Yoda,
and
Darth Vader and Starkiller.
And then 5.
And then
Oh,
I remember the
Ezio.
lies. I remember. Does anybody remember the lie though about that game?
What?
That the characters were exclusive. That the characters were exclusive.
Yeah, they were exclusive for the beginning of it.
But they never said that. This wasn't like recently how they tell you how long, or back then they just said Xbox gets Yoda, PS3 gets Darth Vader. That's it.
Yeah, they didn't
And
tell
then,
you
like,
like they
towards
would
the
come
end-
back eventually.
Yeah, towards the end they unlocked everybody.
Yeah,
It's like what?
and then the last one that came out had Ezio.
Hmm.
The last one had Ezio,
Yes, they did have it. He
which
was
actually made
good.
sense.
True enough, but he played good. That's the funny thing.
And he made sense.
Time period appropriate.
Okay,
Yeah.
so for 6, we'll just say it right here. 6, who would be your dream character? Dream guest character.
Uh,
I don't.
From
I
any
don't
other,
really-
any
the-
medium, I would say any other
Yakuza-
fight,
the
any other
Yakuza
game.
guy from the Japanese. I don't know. It's like Yakuza something where he went back in time and you were like his ancestor. That's it. That's all I could think of.
Okay.
Do with a sword.
How about you?
It's a specific reference.
I could see Kratos being one again because he was one before.
Oh yeah, he was in Mortal Kombat.
No, he was in Mortal Kombat. Yeah, so I could see Kratos being something.
Okay.
What
What is Chain Blades?
I guess the dude from Niho.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if they would get along. Oof.
Yeah.
I don't know about the Tecmo Namco relationship. I don't know. Like another character from anything? I don't know. For 6?
I don't know. I don't care.
Spock. Put Spock in the game. I don't.
That's
fuck
pretty
know.
good. That's hilarious.
I really don't care about the guest character, to be honest.
It would have to
Just
be
make-
somebody really big though, because
Yeah.
like that caliber of Link is pretty high up there.
Yeah.
So
If
would
it
you
comes
take
out-
like
and
let's
if it
say
comes out on the Switch?
True enough.
like Aloy from Harry
Oh
Potter.
come
They
on!
put
I'm
her in
tired
there.
of her.
I
Get
could
the
see her.
fuck out of here.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm
Enough.
at. You say it would have to be something big, and I drop a big name, and it was
That
the
is not
worst
a
one
big
possible.
name.
Apparently,
A big name is a legacy name, dude.
That game is amazing.
I see.
See, I was gonna say no. I'm
It's
talking about a
too
legacy name.
new.
I'm talking about the character.
One.
Like, okay, so you're gonna put Aloy in the same
Been around
category as
forever.
Ninja Turtles?
No, that's not what I was doing. Like
That's what I'm saying.
you
Like,
made this, you made this tier that I didn't do, so I can't fit it. So, but I'll.
no, but look at what
But
we
I
have
agree.
to go from. They
Yeah.
only go super high tier.
Yeah,
for
you know
that
who would
game,
be my
that
favorite?
franchise.
All right, I'll pick one.
So then,
I got my one.
Who could
I
it
got
be?
my one. Usagi Yojimbo.
There you go.
Well, you can't do it from the same well.
It's
we
not
get-
the same well. He's not.
It's
He's not
this franchise.
no, it's not.
From Ninja Turtles,
It's not. He's
they
not.
would
part-
get a comparison though.
He's technically
Yeah, they
not a
would.
part of Ninja Turtles, though.
I mean, I'll let it slide for argument's sake, but that's not gonna. No, that wouldn't
I want.
fly.
Well, I'll just say mine. I want RoboCop. And we move on.
Why? What?
I want
Samurai
RoboCop.
RoboCop.
There
Samurai
it is.
RoboCop.
I can see it. I mean, they tried to. Remember that last movie? It was terrible.
Oh God! Don't you talk to me about that last. But you
There
talk
you
to.
go. Okay.
talk
I
about
got
Ari.
it. I got it. Ninja Batman. There you go.
Ninja Batman.
Ninja Batman and Soul Calibur 6.
I have no argument.
I'll take the Samurai Ninja Turtles.
Not
Ninja
the
Turtles
one
for
from
everyone.
Part 3.
Ninja Turtles for everybody.
Not the one from Part 3. No. No.
Not a Turtles in Time one.
There you go.
But they didn't have a costume. You want them to wear a helmet, don't you? You want them to wear the armor.
Yes, I do.
God damn it. I had one of those
You
figures.
should have let me have Usagi Yojimbo, then we would have been fine. But now I gotta go with the turtles and samurai suits.
But I would let you. You know what? I would let Turtles fly. Though. I'm just saying.
Nah, forget the Turtles. Forget Usagi. I want Super Shredder, still played by Kevin Nash.
All right. You know what? But
Well,
his
you
legs
know-
would explode.
Yeah,
That's not
His
fair.
legs would explode.
His
I
claws would
want to
just
see.
explode.
I want to see Usagi versus Mr. Yugi.
Okay. I'll give you that. That sounds cool. All right.
Last but not least, so we don't go that long. Sony announced
Sorry.
a new Spider-Man movie coming out next Christmas.
Oh boy, those trailers. The trailer's been dropping all week for stuff.
All right. Before we get into the trailer, Marvel also announced another animation showing Miss Marvel, Squirrel Girl, and everything like that. Marvel, I forgot the name of it. You know the name of it, Jenkins? It's another animated movie. Marvel did announce another animated movie dealing with a lot of like the other characters like Squirrel Girl, Miss Marvel, Marvel Rivals.
I didn't get the name of it. I didn't
It's
see
called
that
Marvel
much of the
Rivals.
trailer. I've only heard about it.
Okay.
I did
Wait.
see the Spider-Man.
I have a question.
Go for it.
So Miss Marvel is the new one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
it's called Marvel.
what's her name? Kamala
It's called Marvel
Mhm.
Rivals. I'm trying to say the damn name. It's called Marvel Rivals. It has Squirrel Girl. It has a bunch of new characters that are part of the Marvel universe and whatnot, and it's all going to be a team up that's going to be an animated movie. There's something that we've been talking about in the last cast that DC should be doing with a lot of their animation. Marvel right now, it looks like they are actually going to start doing it.
Right, and that's what I was saying. I was fearful for DC. Is like you should have been bringing things to theaters because the Spider-Man thing is announced for Christmas of next year and it's coming to theaters. So I'm like, you're gonna start letting them catch up to you there with the animation and doing. I'm like, come on, guys.
So now, yeah, but they did it already. They did felt it with Big Hero 6.
Oh, really? That was like a straight up.
That's a Marvel.
Who was that?
That's a Marvel character.
Yeah,
That's Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Disney Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one's going to be produced by Sony. It is a Sony movie and whatnot. It's going to be based on Miles Morales' Ultimate Spider-Man. It's pretty much the beginning. No, it's the beginning of Ultimate Spider-Man. It's the beginning of It's the beginning of Miles Morales' Ultimate Spider-Man. What
it says Spider-Verse in the title.
I understand that, but I'm trying to explain it, and you keep interrupting.
Oh, okay.
So at the beginning of it, pretty much the way Ultimate Spider-Man ended with Peter Parker is Spider-Man died. So basically, the beginning of the trailer, you see Peter Parker's grave. So it shows Miles Morales pretty much looking at his grave and everything like that. So I have a feeling they may have a back thing with that particular thing. They may actually show Spider-Man dying and whatnot, and that could probably introduce the Spider-Verse into the world because also the Spider-Gwen thing, she's going to be in that Marvel Rival movie, and I think that's going to be connected somehow.
I have a question. If I didn't read any of that, right? Yeah. What's the important key parts? I know Spider-Man died.
Yeah, but there's another Spider-Man running around.
Okay. But what when the who killed him?
There was a big battle between him and Green Goblin. He was meant to go kill Aunt May and Mary Jane in their house and shit, and he defended them. So basically, he was fighting Green Goblin and Sinister Six, and no one was there to help and anything like that. So he fought them all by himself, and he killed off Green Goblin, but he died in the process.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, he got his neck broken.
By the Goblin?
Yeah.
Like he choked him or something? Jeez.
How much force would it take for the Green Goblin to exert to break Spider-Man's neck?
Well, the Green Goblin in Ultimate Spider-Man, Green Goblin in Ultimate Spider-Man was a fucking like Hulk-like character too.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go. That's my answer.
Yeah. So the animation in this trailer looks really dope. I actually was feeling it. I'm not a big fan of Miles Morales. So I would clearly say I'm not a big fan of it. I did like the beginning of his Ultimate Spider-Man comic, but after a while, I got tired of the character.
Okay.
So, yeah, and I felt like it was thrown on me. But the animation looks really good. I'm actually looking forward to watching it. I noticed Prowler in the trailer.
Oh, yeah, I did watch it, and I looked, and I saw that was the dude with the purple thing, right?
Yeah. You see Prowler in the trailer, which in the comic book, that's Miles' uncle.
Okay.
And if you actually watched Homecoming, it was his uncle in Spider-Man, the Donald Glover character.
Oh, hey, there you go.
That's super cool. And I know we got to get up, but I watched the other trailer that dropped today, which was the full-length trailer to Ready Player One.
Yeah, I watched
goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm super excited after reading that, so that's a thing.
Okay. What can you just go into a little bit of detail?
It shows a lot more of it. Ready Player One is a that happened, and he put it out early 2000s, and it was a book that was a retrospective about a kid who grew up in the future about 2045, where mankind, it's a dystopian future where there's overpopulation, people are living in poverty, and the only escapism is this place called the Oasis, which is in virtual reality. And overarching story is that, hey, something happened to the creator of this virtual reality platform. He puts up this thing. There's a big giant game to play to become the winner, and then essentially that's it. The main character Wade Watts is trying to play this game to get to the end to the winner. And I don't want to spoil any of the things that happen to her, so that's your big overview.
Okay.
Dystopian future. Most of this takes place in this Oasis, which is a virtual reality world, and you get to see what happens. Not the Running Man.
No.
Okay.
But so to show the trailer, and it's interesting in the trailer, the book is a love letter to the 80s, right? The book is a love letter to all things 80s.
Pretty much.
It's about the Running Man, and the Running Man if it was based on just video games, just straight video games. So it's a love letter to the 80s and all things 80s video games. So it's interesting to see Spielberg's taking it film wise, because it's not just dealing with the 80s. It's going to have some things in there, as you see in the trailer, that will throw back to the book only. But it seemed like it's more modernized. So you're going to see things from the 90s and early 2000s as opposed to and things as early as last year. Because the big thumbnail now for all the trailers is that shot of Tracer and Chun-Li. Tracer's the main character from Overwatch, and we all know Chun-Li's from Street Fighter 2. Well, Street Fighter series.
Legend.
So it's like he's taken from everywhere.
Yeah, because
I just thought about it. I'm sorry, you brought it up. Chun-Li for Soul Calibur 6.
There you go. There you go.
They did Namco and
they're on good terms. Yes, they have Akuma and Tekken. Let's go.
Or maybe a Monster Hunter character for that too.
They usually do have her clothes. She's in Generations for the cats too.
That's cool.
And Blanca.
Yeah.
So maybe
Blanca's always in Capcom.
Ono loves that cat. The guy who makes Street Fighter loves that character. He puts him in everything in Capcom.
But talking about Ready Player One, like if we actually there was unlockable characters and shit like that he earned through the game. That's the reason why all these characters are in it. There's one thing that I wish that it will be in this that was part of the book that I know for a fact is not going to do it. They could easily do it with another character that be awesome that about. They could easily do it with a Megazord or a fucking Voltron. They had the Spider-Man robot. That was
this is
in the book.
This is Spider-Man robot. Yeah.
The Jet Jaguar.
So in
the book, he unlocks the Spider-Man fucking robot, and it really pisses me off that I know for a fact that's not going to be in the movie.
And I don't understand why, because they got everything else.
I'm like, yo,
they got the
Voltron
Gundam
in the shit.
They got the Gundam because that was in the trailer. That's another interesting thing.
Yeah.
You're gonna see a freaking Gundam in a live action movie.
Which one was it?
Then again, I think
it was what do you call the main Gundam? The one that you see. Yes. Big red shield with the yellow cross.
Yeah, Armor Race. I forgot.
Yeah. So yes,
just generic Gundam.
0083. I think. There you go. Generic Gundam. There you go. Because it didn't have wings. It wasn't Wing Gundam or anything like that. So it was just straight up.
I can see that taking the place of the Spider-Man robot.
I think the Iron Giant is doing that.
No, I could actually see the Gundam doing that because it was a Japanese animated robot kind of thing.
Well, here you go. Let's say this now. Spoiler alert: the enemy guys used Gundams.
Oh, they used the Gundams. Oh, okay.
Remember the team that the main villain dude, his IOI guys next to him had Gundams. Anyway, sorry, we're nerding out over here, but go on.
Wait a second. So this book is about this is about copyright infringement?
yes, it is. Yeah. This whole movie is about copyright infringement.
Definitely check it out. If you never read it, read it. I read it on the order,
we had audiobook. Yeah.
Josh Whedon reads it to you.
Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
Josh.
All right.
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton. Josh Whedon. Josh Whedon's the director of Avengers. Will Wheaton.
That's why I was saying yes. Oh, okay. So Will Wheaton.
But Will Wheaton reads it, and it's cool because it's interesting for them to read it because he's mentioned in the book, like he's in the book, so it's pretty funny. It's probably why they got him to read it. Excuse me. But anyway, man, excellent, man. There's a lot of other things that came up, but we'll try to save for later. Like I liked the 17-minute playthrough at PXX of Detroit Become Human. they had the crowd participation. And it was a really fun way to see that game being played. They let the crowd yell out the decisions to be made for that first sequence that we all seen with Connor, the android negotiator.
Mm-hmm.
Full sequence. If you haven't checked it out, check it out to see that sequence being played and how it turns out, depending on the choices you make. Again, I have high hopes for that game. The narrative, the stories that are being told by that, like they're so gripping, like it's. But you know, I have to be cautious. Right? Cautious. Thank you. Because given the track record of the person behind it, it's like all that can come together, and then somewhere in the middle, space aliens are brought something.
Beyond Two Souls.
Exactly. You get Native American space aliens from the moon. I don't know. Anyways.
I don't know why he can't make a game as crazy as Indigo Prophecy that people like.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like every game after Indigo Prophecy is just somewhere it just breaks down. And then I mind you, it's not the fans' fault. The games are generally they break down. The stories break down somewhere in the middle. But like Indigo Prophecy, man, it went crazy. But you went on the ride. You know? I don't know.
Does the Detroit have a release date?
No, not yet.
Then I don't care.
There you go.
If a game does not have a release date, I tend to not care. I'll wait till it has a release date, and then I'll get hyped by it.
Last trailer to take a look at. I don't know if you guys saw it, but that also dropped this week. James Cameron's next big movie. He's taken from anime, and it's got the internet in a decisive tizzy. It's Battle Angel Alita.
Yeah, I posted up on the RedCycloneInc.
So take a look at that trailer. Tell me how you feel about it.
Looks interesting.
It looks interesting. As the wife just said, it looks gorgeous. But that's James Cameron for you. His CGI team don't play no games. It ain't. If they could have hired him for the Justice League, it would have been a pretty movie. It might have still sucked, but it would have been a pretty movie.
Yeah, it won't be no like wasted slow motion. It would look good.
It would look good. Cyborg would just be gorgeous. He just would look like Megatron.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Superman's lip would have annoyed the shit out of me.
He would have just had a big old mustache.
Yep. They should have just let him have the damn mustache.
I'm just
James Cameron wouldn't have CGI'd his lip. James Cameron would have CGI'd him, and you wouldn't have noticed. That's how good it would have been. It's the whole actor. We can't just do the lip. We got to do the whole thing. Just the whole. There's no way, because he would have been like, "That's stupid. Don't do that."
But we have the budget. Do it.
Do it.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I pull out my bad Tommy Wiseau. We have the money.
I need to watch that. Where can I watch The Room?
I think they put it on Netflix recently because of the movie coming out.
Because
no, it's not overrated. It's terrible. That's why it's not.
That's the point. That's why. But I have to see it because I want to see the crazy documentary with James Franco.
Oh well, I recommend before you watch that. Well, no. Watch the movie.
I haven't seen Samurai Cop yet either.
And watch the Nostalgia Critic for it. That's where I got my taste of The Room.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh my god, yeah.
All right, guys.
All right, it's been another episode of It Gets Better, I Swear.
Yeah, man.
That's it. What you got? Something else?
Oh yeah, just go see Shape of the Water. It was a very pretty movie.
I definitely want to do that. Take the wife. Yeah. All right, guys. This is Commander Farrell saying laters. RedCycloneInc on everything. Merc with the mic. SoundCloud. Do it. Wrestling Babble.
That's it.
Because it's awesome.
Monster Hunter videos up on YouTube. RedCycloneInc.
There it is.
We didn't get the Rathalos, but it's okay.
Next time, Rathalos.
Next time. We still got 2 days.
We'll get you, Gadget.
Dig it.
Yeah, next week. See you next week.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Later. Peace.